Dear students of class 9A and 9B, welcome to my history class. Today I am going to teach you a new lesson named Emergence of Composite Culture. This lesson is a new one. It is not a part of your syllabus. But before the exam of third terminal, I have decided to include it with the syllabus of third terminal. Why? Because previous lessons taught by me, these all were very small. That's why this lesson is very important to you. I have decided to include it with the syllabus of third terminal. So take it down. It is a part of the syllabus of third terminal. Okay. Now the name of this lesson, Emergence of Composite Culture. Open at page number 174. First point, introduction. Second, sources. Third, vision. Fourth point, Holy Guru Granth Sahib. And last point, contributions of the saints. The first one, introduction. Many of the religious saints, they taught the people of different countries of India to be conscious, alert of their duties and responsibilities, to be more and more pious, to be more and more dedicated towards their religious faiths and beliefs. So years of living together brought different communities, brought people of different communities, brought people of different, cultures closer as they began to understand each other. And not only that, the two movements, Bhakti movement and Sufi movements, encouraged the people. They broadened their outlook and they became very, very tolerant towards their religion, towards each other. That's why both Muslims and Hindus, they paid tribute, they paid respect to the religious concepts of each other because of the Sufi and Bhakti movements. Some saints like Kabir, Mainuddin Chishti had followers belonging to both communities, Kabir and Mainuddin Chishti. Now, what are the sources? There are certain sources behind it. The contributions of the Bhakti saints, different Bhakti saints, they came forward to highlight the religious concepts of different communities. As a result, people of different communities, they lived together and there grew lasting friendship among them. They all became respectful towards the religions of different communities. So Kabir came forward. Kabir also encouraged the people to be pious, to be happy, to be rich, to be rich in not only in money and wealth, but rich in broadness of mind. Naturally, Kabir's teaching encouraged, brought people of different communities under one umbrella. Kabir was a 15th century mystic poet. He criticized both Hindus and Muslims for their meaningless ritualism. He criticized both the Hindus and Muslims for their orthodox attitude and dogma. The teachings of Kabir, the philosophy of Kabir, found in his book Bizak. Bizak actually is a book, name of a book, where the philosophy of Kabir is described, where the teachings of Kabir is written, One of his poems states that God is found not in temples, but God is found not in temples, nor in mosques, nor in churches, but it is found in vegetables. It is not found in crowds. It is not found in kirtanas. But when we are eating something, it is found in vegetables. When we really look for God, you will set Him, you will see Him instantly inside you. That means God is within yourselves. God is within ourselves. Another of his doha states that the river that runs fast runs through you, also runs through me. According to the doha of Kabir. Kabir was revered by Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs. Kabir was revered by Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs alike. Many of his poems, are found in the holy books, in the holy Adi Granth. Adi Granth. Rabindranath Tagore also translated some dohas of Kabir in his poems. And the Bijak also is an important phase, important source of the Bhakti movement. Tells us about the Bhakti reform was about the Bhakti reform, the Bhakti movement encouraged the people of the world, and because of their contributions, because of their participation, both the two movements, Bhakti movements and Sufi movements, became popular throughout the country. Next point, Holy Guru Granth Sahib. Another important source of the Bhakti movement is the holy book Guru Granth Sahib, which is considered as final, sovereign and everlasting Guru of the Sikhs. The Guru Granth Sahib is the spiritual revelation of not only the 10th Sikh Guru, but also the Bhakti saints like Kabir and others. Their contributions encouraged the people to be prosperous, rich, prosperous in their broadness of mind, rich and prosperous in their richness of mind, in their broadness, in their broad mind. And not only that, it also encouraged them to come closer, to establish cordial relationship and brotherhood. That's why a number of saints dedicated their lives for the welfare of the people, for the welfare of their religion and religious concepts. According to them, God is only one, and you can see Him anywhere, but within yourself. And to do it, you have to make your mind purified. Otherwise, it is not possible. You can't see Him. The Guru Granth Sahib teaches that there is only one God. In Guru Granth Sahib, we also got the same concept. Only one God. There is only one God. Everyone is equal. One should live truthfully and according to God's will. In Guru Granth Sahib, these teachings are there. Everyone has to live truthfully, perfectly, honestly, and according to the will of God, because the Almighty God is the supreme power, the Almighty God. That's why we have to be dedicated, we have to be conscious, truthful towards the preachings and teachings of different saints, because they are the representatives of God. They teach us on behalf of the Almighty God. That's why one should accept the preachings and teachings of the saints. One should accept the preachings and teachings of the Almighty God. Means what they are doing on behalf of the Almighty God. So this practice, one should practice humility, kindness, compassion and love. And one should always keep an open mind and keep learning. Because learning anything has no end. We have to learn everything because learning is nothing but endless process, endless. We have to keep on learning, otherwise we can't gain proper knowledge, we can't have perfect knowledge of religion. We can't understand the basic concept of different religions. We can't feel the Almighty God which is within our soul. We will be unable to understand Him. We will be unable to see Him. We will be unable to feel Him. That's why what is needed most is our will, our determination, our sincerity, our dedication towards ourselves, towards our duties and responsibilities we are supposed to shoulder. That's why, my dear students, Holy Guru Granth Sahib has given us so many good ideas, so many preachings and teachings according to which we have to go, we have to find out our ways and we have to reach our goal. Otherwise we can't reach our goal. If we have any ambition that we shall dedicate, we will dedicate our lives for the welfare of the mankind and sacrifice ourselves towards the Almighty God. In that case, we have to obey all the preachings and teachings of different religious concepts. Guru Granth Sahib is one of them. And next one, contributions of different saints. You know, there are different saints who contributed a lot in respect of the requirements of the people. You know, there are different numbers of religious saints who sacrifice their lives for the welfare of the people, for the welfare of the religion. They are Kabir, Namdev, Jayadev, Surdas, Ramdas, Baba Farid, and so on. The Guru Granth Sahib also teaches us its preachings and teachings, which was made by many saints. Kabir also encouraged him, Namdev also encouraged him, Jayadev, Surdas, they all dedicated their lives for the welfare of the religious concepts. The religious books has given us the way through which we can reach our destination, and we have to find out our destination, where to go, what to do. Everything should be done properly as per the preachings and teachings of different religious saints. We have to think it. Why it? Suppose one person came and threatened me. He said, I will thrash him. I will thrash him. Suppose another one started teaching something to me. I asked, who are you to teach me? Is it right process? No. Whatever he teaches, whether right or wrong, we have to learn. Keep on learning from him. If there is any mistake, you listen to him silently and later on get it rectified. But what you have to do? You have to do you have to do it in a very, very polite form, so that he can't take your opponent. That's why, my dear students, don't threat anyone else. If somebody else come forward to give some threatening, you make him stop in your polite behavior. You don't utter this type of language. I will revenge on you. I will revenge on you. I will see you. I will show you who I am, like that. I will not spare you. I will never forgive you, like that. I will break your bones. No, don't use this type of language. What you have to do? You have to do it very carefully. You act like a gentleman. You act like a gentleman. Behave not rudely, behave politely, so that they must accept him to be your friend, to be your well-wisher. These are the preachings and teachings of Kabir, Namdev, Surdas. Now we have to study this type of preachings and teachings. More points are there. Next day, the remaining points I shall clarify. Thank you.